What's up, y'all? This is the Curious One, and we're kicking it at the dirty table. I got a new figure to show y'all. Technically, it's not a new figure. I was drunk scrolling through a big bad toy store a few nights ago. I've had this for a little bit. Um, I want to knock out some videos so I can get some figures out of some boxes and play around with them and stuff. So I have had this one for a little while. I was drunk scrolling through Big Bad Toy Store and I found this figure and it was on pre order, right? But the box was different. And, well, I guess disclaimer, right? I like Star Wars. I watched all three of the first movies when I was young. Um, Not in the theater, I'm not quite that old. But I watched all of them when I was younger, and I liked them. They were good. The Ewok one that they used to show every Christmas was probably one of my favorites. I did watch the prequels, and I remember thinking that they're okay, but for the most part, I don't really remember them all that well, except for like the sounders and gifts that people like to use. I do remember Jar Jar Binks. I do remember him being kind of annoying, but I I liked the battle scene on his planet. It was cool. The newest ones, I watched the first two. I think Daisy Ridley is actually really cute. I do like her, and I feel bad for her that her first like big thing was the Star Wars that everybody hates. I hope everything works out for her. I hope she's not ridiculous like fucking Brie Larson, and her career comes back and does a whole full circle or whatever. Because I think she's a cute girl. Um, as long as she doesn't get retarded, I don't care that she played Ray and everybody hates Ray or whatever. That's fine with me. All right, so let's try to get back on track. So I'm drunk scrolling through Big Bad Toy Store, which I'm prone to do. I also drunk scroll Amazon, eBay, stuff like that. I look for figures. I look for accessories, stuff like that. Houston Customs has some good stuff that I've picked up. I think two times already, and I've seen some stuff from him that I'm probably going to pick up some more of his stuff. So he's definitely a good seller. The first time he sent me the skulls for the Terminator thing like real fast. Now the orange gun blast that you've seen maybe in another video if you watch my stuff at all. Uh, it took him a little bit longer. I was a little concerned. I was thinking maybe he had gotten sick or something. I'm hoping he doesn't. I hope he didn't. Um, I hope everything is good for him. Um, but I found this figure and I looked at it and I was like, hey, you know what? That's cute. I'm not really like a big time Star Wars fan or whatever. I like the video. I like the movies, but not enough for me to talk about it for 40 years. But this figure is cute. I like it. I dig it. You know what I mean? So, and on Big Bad Toy Store, it was it had a pre order, right? But the box looked different. So I was like, well, they still have pre order up for the GI Joes. In fact, I canceled my pre order for the GI Joes like a half a month after the actual release date, and then just bought one for more expensive on Amazon. So I don't know like what's going on with that. Maybe they're having troubles, or maybe Hasbro isn't shipping to them, or something. I really don't know. I hope everything is going good for you guys though, because I would prefer to order from y'all. Um, so I went to Amazon. I looked around. I found this figure on Amazon and ordered it. I did get my eyes poked out on it, but it wasn't extremely bad. Um, Then right after I ordered it, I was like, you know what? I'm like buying this figure on a whim. And usually when I do that, I end up getting a figure in hand and I look at it and I'm like, man, I don't really like it. It doesn't fit in with any of my other stuff. What am I going to do with this? And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, you're ugly. I don't like you. I'm going to throw you away. Yeah. So I went on YouTube and I found a review from Robo, and it was like 2 years ago, and I was like, what the? So I start looking, and I guess I have to just assume because I don't know. I do watch Robo, I do watch the Foosh, but I'm not up on everything, so I don't really know for sure. But I'm thinking that this figure is on uh, it's on pre-order because it's being re-released, is what I'm assuming. Because the figure looks exactly the same, but the box looks different. So that's the only thing I can think of. I did find the figure for sale somewhere else for cheaper than what I paid for it. And when I clicked on it, it was also on pre-order. So I don't know if pre-order is just like a placeholder that they use until they get back in stock, or what exactly is going on. If you guys know, you can let me know down in the comments, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So yeah, let's get this figure out of the box. I'm already fucking in pretty long already. So the Zombie Lab figures are there because they were already there, and I didn't feel like switching out like all the figures to. And on top of that, I'm about to do a video on a Zombie Lab figure, so they're just there. This is her out of the box. And we'll start with a little turnaround so you can see the whole figure. I like this figure because I like the artsy fartsy little girls. Not little girls, but I like artsy fartsy girls. They make their own stuff. They're usually pretty cute. They have little like anime things about them, and they're just cute. You know what I mean? So I saw that, I was like, she's cute. I'll pick it up. She does come with 4 accessories. You get her helmet, the targeter is articulated, but it's pretty skinny, so be careful with it. Don't want you to break it. Now the helmet does fit over top of her head. I know for a fact that it does because I've watched Robo, and I believe even ShartimusPrime do it. But I have heard them say that will scrape the paint. And since I like the way the figure looks, the way it is, I'm actually not going to display her with this helmet. I'm going to leave her hair the way it is. I actually wish that there was 2 different heads so that the hair could be would look more realistic instead of like pasted to her head. I actually would have liked it more if her hair looked like it did on the box, where it's kind of like wavy and sticking off to the side, but they made it the way that they did so that the helmet would fit over top of it. So I probably will not display her with that helmet on. She also comes with 2 of these pistols. Now normally if the guns don't look realistic, normally I will change them out, but this is like a Star Wars chick, so it's meant to be like plasma pistols, so I'll probably just leave it the way it is. Let her keep her accessories, although I could probably find some pistols that are more realistic that would actually fit in there. Then she has spray paint type of deal, because apparently she's a graffiti artist, which kind of speaks to me. I like graffiti. I used to do it for a while. I was never like super great, but I was okay. Cartoony stuff. You know, whatever. So, bring her in a little closer. The eyes are a little funky. If you're going to put orange on white, then you need to put a dark outline to make it stick out. So with her, not the pupils, but the outside, she needed like a very, very thin black or dark color to make that orange actually show. It kind of looks like she has snake eyes. The hair is pretty nice, but like I said, I wish it was more of a 3D effect. It is matted down so that you can fit the mask over top of her head, but like I said, it will eventually take the paint off, so I'm not going to do that at all. I like the way it looks the way it is. This is a soft material, so you can get the arms all the way up. They do spin all the way around because they almost always do. She only has a single jointed elbow. Gets her, looks a little over 90. But honestly, I think they could do better. I've seen female figures that have the double jointed elbows. She doesn't have a swivel here at all. She does have a swivel at the hand. Doesn't come with any hands. This is an up and down. On this side, it's going to be an in and out, and it goes down very far, but up is a little bit not too far up on that side. Head spins all the way around. Get a little bit of down. And again, because of the figures and stuff that I have in the background, it's wanting to focus on them more than it is on her. You get a decent amount of up. Her hair back here kind of blocks it a little bit. And like Robo said, you do get a Adam's apple looking thing there. Maybe that's something that they'll fix if they are re-releasing this figure, but I don't know. So it's pretty stiff here, but you do get a little bit of backward, not too much forward. There's no twist at the actual waist. I thought I felt it. No. Yeah, no, there's no twist at the waist, but you do get some twist at the upper torso, and a little bit of pivot. I guess we should check that. No real pivot at the head. I think it's just the way that the head is cast. So legs are pretty stiff, but it seems like you're probably only going to get out about that far. You have a cut at the thigh, but you're going to have these pop out. Let's see, you got double jointed knees. Can't quite kick herself in the butt. This one looks, I want to say this one went further. Maybe I'm wrong though. Yeah, that one went further. Not sure why the difference. Maybe something's just a little bit too tight on this one. Yeah, or maybe it's part of the sculpt there. Not really sure. but you get a foot twist, ankle pivot, whatever you want to call it. Goes up a bit. This piece of armor here is kind of stopping it. It is a soft material, but it still does stop, not going up too much. Goes down pretty good. Let's see if there's any difference in this one. That one also goes up pretty, or down pretty good. Up pretty good. Looks like a Hispanic chick to me. Pretty cute. Like her armor. I like the fact that she's painted it herself. I like the fact that I can get her in a Top Gun Tori pose. Tori Nanaka, for those of you who don't know her, she's a competition shooter. I believe she still shoots for Glock, but I could be wrong. I do wish she had some movement at the hips. I would like to be able to get her, you know, she's a woman. I want like her hips to kind of be able to stick out a little bit. Get her into womanly poses, if you know what I'm saying. So for a size comparison, I got her here with some other female figures that I own. It's a wrestling figure, zombie. Tara Banks, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know who she is. I just saw the zombie figure and I wanted something that I could paint and maybe customize a little bit, so I picked it up. Used for pretty cheap. Then we have iZombies. I have her on a stand because she's pretty impossible to stand on her own, but I do really like the figure. I like the way it looks. The show's not too bad also, even though I typically like the old school Romero type of zombies where they're slow movers and they're completely stupid. We have the Scarlet, and this is what I was talking about with the hips. I kind of want the to be able to move the hips out and give it kind of a woman stance more than a kind of a manly stance. You know what I mean? Like even a woman that knows how to shoot guns still has kind of a like a female stance to her a little bit. Some of them have worked out a lot of it, but there's typically still just kind of like a little bit of like hip movement that you won't see in a man. We also have her here with the Gwenpool Marvel Legends and the Lady Deadpool Marvel Legends. And as you can see, she's shorter than everybody. But I believe that the Star Wars series is just a little bit shorter than almost everything. I think this is probably one of the bigger. I thought this was. I don't know. For some reason, when I have this figure posed by itself, it looks bigger than the Lady Deadpool. But I guess it's probably actually a little bit smaller. Huh. That's crazy. Anyways, y'all, I guess this is where we end it. I thought I was going to be really disappointed with this figure because, like I said, I did drunk order it like on a whim, and typically that doesn't work out well for me. But as far as right now, I really like it. I do wish it had some hip movement because I really would like to be able to pose her more womanly, but we'll see what happens. Typically, when I do my reviews, if I do the articulation at all, I'm only playing with it for like 30 seconds, and I'm not the greatest poser in the world. If you want the greatest poser in the world, you probably want to check out J Hernandez. He does some like phenomenal stuff. Yeah, I'll watch his video and I'll be like, wait a second, my figure don't move like that. And I'll go grab my figure and I'll play with it a little bit. And I'm like, wait a second, it does do that. Oh my God, that's crazy. But yeah, I think we're done, y'all. So y'all have a great night. Try to stay out of trouble. Take it easy. Laters.